days. It is the taxpayer's responsibility to take care of my kids.
Y'all ain't hear me. They cut my food stamps. I ain't paying for none of this shit. I got babies at home that gotta eat. You think I'm just gonna leave my cart here? Hell no. I ain't paying nothing. I'm walking out with it.
Trump done cut them food stamps off.
I just finally got confirmation that food stamps is officially cut for next month.
About 2 months ago, I stopped eating dinner almost every night of the week so that my boyfriend and I could have enough food left over to have lunch the next day. This was before we were about to lose our food stamps. Mind you, we both work.
If you're poor, don't have kids, okay? If you're struggling, don't have kids. Don't bring more in. If you already have them, that's another situation. If you don't have them, don't bring any in. And if you have two, don't go having another one. If you have one, don't go having two more.
So they say 2 million is getting cut off this month for the scamps. I'm about to go find out if I'm in that number, in that ratio.
I don't think that we really realize the depths that this is, the damage that this is going to do, but the women, the mothers, and the families, but the mothers especially, who are going to go without meals so their children don't have to.
It's been day 5 and I have not received no food stamps. My disability checks is on hold. My cash benefits is not coming no more. They're still pending. It is the taxpayer's job to pay for my kids to eat and for my kids to be taken care of. I have over 2,000 followers on TikTok and I can't get not one person to send me 50 cents.
But because we have children and because aftercare and before care is too expensive, I've taken a job that's basically minimum wage so that I can be there to pick up my kids. I cannot fathom what we're gonna do without that food stamp money, because if I already couldn't eat dinner with that food stamp money,
you know, people are out here scrambling, asking, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? Take your butt to work.
I'm so tired of seeing people say like, oh, well, maybe if you had a job, you could get your groceries, or, you know what I'm saying, you wouldn't have to depend on SNAP. I work full time. Thank you. And I do rely on stamps because guess what? It's not enough money in this economy for me to be able to pay bills and get stuff that we need and provide for my 2 kids. So yes, I depend on stamps and I have a full-time job. So please know that people out here depend on stamps is not because we out here just mooching off the government. It's because we literally need that to provide for our family.
I work hard every single day. I get up every single day and clean houses, and I still rely on food stamps to feed my 6 children because the prices are so high. It's unrealistic to think about not having food stamps. Next month, I'm so terrified because 6 babies are always eating. Plus myself, I eat about 1 meal a day, but still.
People are losing their SNAP benefits right before the holidays, and if you don't think that's fucked up, then you're part of the problem.
Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thanks again for tuning in. Alright, MAGA voters are having an emotional breakdown. They are throwing a tantrum and bursting in tears because, you know, they are finding out right now that they effed around and found out because they voted against their best interests, especially those in rural red states. They're finding out that they voted to do away with their only lifeline to afford decent meals. And that's because during this shutdown, the government has announced a possible cut to SNAP benefits and food stamps funding from November 1st. And many of them don't like it. They are coming up online with videos of emotional regret, but a lot of people are telling them this is exactly what you voted for. You thought that it was going to affect other people, but now it's affecting y'all and y'all don't like it. What happened to cutting the waste away? Yeah, you just finally found out that you are part of that waste and you don't like it. But let's take a look at these videos, guys. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, hit the like button and leave me a comment down below. It really helps with pushing this video to a wider audience. Let's take a look. I'll be back with more commentary after this.
About 2 months ago, I stopped eating dinner almost every night of the week so that my boyfriend and I could have enough food left over to have lunch the next day, because I personally need to eat more in the middle of the day to be able to accomplish all that I have to do during the day. By dinner time, nighttime, whatever. If I'm hungry, I can just fall asleep through it. It doesn't really matter. This was before we were about to lose our food stamps. Mind you, we both work. I've worked since I was 14 years old. I have a college degree. But because we have children, and because aftercare and before care is too expensive, I've taken a job that's basically minimum wage so that I can be there to pick up my kids. I cannot fathom what we're going to do without that food stamp money, because if I already couldn't eat dinner with that food stamp money. So yeah, I'm glad some of you are happy.
So I just finally got confirmation that food stamps is officially cut for next month. And the thing about a lot of stereotypes is they say that if you're on SNAP benefits, you don't work hard, you sit on your butt and you just collect checks, when that's not the case. I work hard every single day. I get up every single day and clean houses, and I still rely on food stamps to feed my 6 children because the prices are so high. It's unrealistic to think about not having food stamps. Next month, I'm so terrified because 6 babies are always eating, plus myself. I eat about 1 meal a day, but still. And it's like, they always say don't rely on the government, but sometimes, like in situations right now where the government literally has raised prices over 300% on just everything, eggs, milk, everything, you do have to rely on stamps, especially in my situation where I just got custody of 3 children on top of mine. So we need it. Like, I don't know what's gonna happen, but I'm terrified right now, and I don't know if anyone else is scared, but this is scary. But like, Trump needs to figure something out. I don't know, this is so messed up right now.
So I live in the deep south, rural Texas, Brownwood, Texas, right? And this town used to be a sundown town, still kind of is. And people have been freaking out. And the reason why is they're going to lose their food stamps come next month. And a large majority of the population of this town is on food stamps. They voted for Trump thinking the immigrants were going to lose food stamps, right? Because illegals get food stamps? No, they don't. So they're losing food stamps come next month. So they were in a frenzy at all the grocery stores buying food like crazy because they think that their food stamps are going to be non-existent next month. So they cashed out all that money, all that EBT on their food stamps, right? So they voted for this. They wanted this.
So this is in regards to the food stamp situation and to the government being shut down and stamps not being available in November. I'm so tired of seeing people say like, oh, well, maybe if you had a job, you could get your groceries, or, you know what I'm saying, you wouldn't have to depend on stamps. I work full time. Thank you. And I do rely on stamps because guess what? It's not enough money in this economy for me to be able to pay bills and get stuff that we need and provide for my 2 kids. So yes, I depend on stamps and I have a full-time job. So please know that people out here depend on stamps is not because we out here just mooching off the government. It's because we literally need that to provide for our family.
Did y'all see the video of the man saying that white people were mad because they thought SNAP benefits were only for black people, and now that they're mad that their food stamps are being taken away too? What? Except I lived in the South, so I have seen this before. Matter of fact, my best friend, I met her in college and she was pregnant, okay? That little boy, sweetest little boy, but she was on like WIC and food stamps and healthcare and everything too, right? As she should be. She needed the help. She needed the assistance, okay? We were driving the car one day. She would not shut the fuck up. She was like, I'm so mad at people taking my tax dollars and blah, 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 and we shouldn't be paying for other people's healthcare, and I don't want to pay for other people's food. And I finally go, girl, you know you're the other people, right? And she was like, huh? And I was like, the health insurance that made you be able to take your little boy to the doctor yesterday, I paid for that. The food that you eat that you put on your table, I paid for that. My tax dollars paid for that. Like, you are the people that you're talking about. How are you going to sit here and trash talk people when you are the people? Like, you have WIC, you have food stamps, and you have health insurance for you and your child. And you're gonna sit here and trash talk people who use government aid. What? And anyways, they're mad now. They're mad now that their shit's being taken away too. Okay, did we all share the brain cell today, or what?
Alright folks, there you have it. Actually, MAGA is throwing a tantrum. They don't like what they're getting right now, especially now that they're reaping exactly what they sowed. They never wanted to listen to Democrats, to black folks, when people tried to actually warn them back in November at the ballot box for them to actually make the right decision and vote for their best interest. They were shallow. They were deep into the cult. They actually wore red MAGA hats, walked with them red flags, and actually even sang MAGA songs and chants, you know, Make America Great Again, America First policy. But now they're finding out that the orange man betrayed them, and they don't like it. That is the thing. You don't like exactly what you're getting, especially since it's affecting you. You guys actually thought it was going to affect other people, illegal immigrants and people of color. You thought that those who actually depended on welfare were people of color. You never thought that it was going to affect y'all. How did you think that the orange man's policies were going to only affect them people whom you don't like except y'all? Because everything is connected in an economy. There is no way that a policy can only be passed for particular set of people. Even though it might affect some people 80%, it's going to affect you all 20%, like in the case of illegal immigrants and mass deportations. We have seen that, yeah, it's affecting illegal immigrants, especially Latinos, and a lot of other illegal immigrants who are actually being deported and being hit with ICE raids. And a lot of you all were actually chanting for that. But yeah, the 20% there, a lot of you all have been crying, especially after losing your only form of cheap labor. For the MAGA farmers, the construction site, you know, companies that depended largely on these illegal immigrants' cheap labor, and they have been affected. It's exactly the same thing. You cannot vote for a policy in a government that is going to affect only a set particular people. It's going to affect you all, whether it's to a certain mild degree or not. Now, talking about food stamps and SNAP benefits, these people are chanting on top of their voices to cut away the West. But now they're finding out that they're part of the West, because they thought that SNAP benefits and food stamps actually was for, you know, melanated people, Black Americans and people of color. But they're finding out that, wait a minute, it's actually people in rural red states that actually largely depend on these lifeline programs, especially SNAP benefits, EBT cards, and food stamps. And during this government shutdown, which has announced that from November 1st, you know, SNAP benefits program and food stamp programs are gonna run out of money. You know, they're trying to paint the Dems as if it's their fault. But remember, the government is shut down because the Repubs do not want to give health care to Americans, claiming that the Dems want to give it to illegal immigrants. But it's a lie, because illegal immigrants do not qualify for health care. Now, everything has been affected. People have been laid off in federal jobs because, you know, there is no money for them to be actually paid. TSA workers and other government workers are actually having to work for free without back pay that is not guaranteed. Now, the people on food stamps, the people on SNAP benefits, especially in rural MAGA states, they are going to lose something that is essential. You cannot play with food. Food is a necessity, and people are throwing a tantrum. They are crying and emotionally breaking down, rightfully so, because they have kids to feed, they have families to feed, they have nobody to help them. This is exactly what they depended on. But the thing is, you know, you voted exactly for this. You don't like it now because it's affecting you, but you are happy with it actually affecting other people. And the problem with these MAGA bigots is that they do not actually go ahead and do research when the orange man gives them these promises. They just go with the orange man's words without actually doing some research, and it's affecting them. But let me know in the comments, what do you think about today's episode? I'm your presenter Joel Mugisha. If you're new, kindly consider subscribing. Hit that like button, really helps with the algorithm when you hit the like button, and leave us a comment. Subscribe. See you on the next episode.